welcome to Rando Tech Info. Today we're going to be talking about phone battery health. I use the term health, not battery life, because to me, health insinuates long term, whereas battery life, when you're talking about battery life, to me that means you're talking about getting through the day, without running out of juice. To me, that's what battery life is. Battery health is that long term, how much charge does my battery still hold term. And unfortunately, no matter what you do, your phone's battery or any electronic device that uses a lithium-ion battery, the health of your battery is going to degrade over time. There's nothing you can do about that. Eventually, that battery will quit holding any type of a useful charge. But there are some things you can do that will greatly extend the life of that battery. And we live in an age where, particularly in our phones, battery health is very important. Yeah, we're cramming bigger batteries into our phones than ever before, but we need those batteries. We're using bigger, high-resolution screens in our devices. Even lower and mid-tier devices have 6-inch plus bigger screens with very impressive resolution. In addition, we're now putting higher refresh rates on those screens. We're using 90 hertz and 120 hertz screens, which means those screens are refreshing much faster, which means they're also using more battery life. The other trend in phones right now, unfortunately, is phone makers don't want you getting into their phones. So it's getting more and more difficult to change out those batteries. And in some cases, it's impossible. You can't even send the phone off to get the battery replaced on some phones anymore. It's just becoming very, very difficult because on some phones, getting those OLED screens off without breaking them is just not a doable endeavor. So extending the life of the battery that comes inside the phone is becoming more and more important. So today we're going to just give some quick and easy tips on how to extend that life. And I've been doing these tips, I've been using these tips myself for years, and they do work. So let's get started. First tip: don't put the battery under stress. Well, what does that mean? Lithium-ion batteries suffer the most stress when they're fully charged or completely depleted. In fact, if you completely deplete a lithium-ion battery, there is a chance it will not hold a charge ever again. It can actually ruin the battery. Now, the good news is, in most devices, virtually all devices nowadays, they don't let you completely deplete the phone. It actually cuts off the power first before the battery actually completely runs out. It'll say you've run out. The indicator will say you have no more juice left, but in reality, it does still have some. It's just not going to let you use it so you don't ruin the battery. Even still, you don't want to run the battery all the way down till the phone shuts off. That extreme is bad for the battery. Likewise, you don't want to fully charge the battery all the time throughout the day. Stop topping off your battery. Generally speaking, throughout the day, don't charge your battery up to over 85%. I'm actually really careful. I don't even charge my battery over 80% during the day. Likewise, at night, don't in the evening, don't use that phone till your battery gets down to zero. Don't let it get below 15% if possible. And once again, I take this to the extreme. I don't even let my battery get below 20%. I have a battery case that I slap on my phone if it gets down below 20%, and I charge that baby up. So stay away from the extremes. It's okay to charge it at night and let it pick up a full charge at night. That one time every night shouldn't hurt it too bad, but don't keep topping it off during the day. Especially do not use it while it's plugged in with a full charge. That's the worst thing you can do, because then it keeps charging up all the way, it stops charging, then you use it, then it starts charging again, and it just keeps bouncing off, that full battery. It just keeps topping itself off. That puts the battery under a lot of stress, and it will degrade the battery very quickly. In addition to that, besides the full extreme and the empty extreme, don't let your phone be exposed to extreme temperatures, especially extreme heat. That will also damage the battery. And in fact, extreme heat is just bad for electronics in general. you shouldn't do that. That's why they put so many different cooling products in computers. They put fans and heat sinks and liquid cooling systems. They even have liquid cooling systems you can slap on the back of your phones now, which is a bit extreme, but still, it proves the point. Heat is bad for electronics, so don't set your phone in the sun. Don't even keep it in your pocket when you don't have to. Let that sucker breathe. The more you do it, the more it will extend your short-term battery life and the long-term battery health of your device. And finally, a couple more things, although I wouldn't include these things officially on the list because there is some debate as to whether or not they actually hurt your battery health. I'll let you do the research and decide for yourself, but these two things are wireless charging and fast charging. There are a lot of people who think that wireless charging and fast charging hurt battery life. Fast charging in particularly because of the heat fast charging can generate, but there's actually some different pieces of evidence that say that may not be the case. Like I said, once again, this is not a conclusive thing. So if you're curious whether wireless charging or fast charging hurts battery life, I would encourage you to do some research yourself and come to your own conclusions. Like I said, there's some debate on those issues. But what's not in debate is that stress is bad for lithium-ion batteries. So don't let that phone get to that full charge multiple times throughout the day. Don't run it all the way down. And don't let your phone get real hot or real cold. If you do those things, you will be amazed at how much longer your battery will stay healthy in your device. Like I said, I've been doing this for my last couple of devices, really making sure I don't overcharge or fully run down my battery. And my Google Pixel 2 XL's battery is still almost like new. I've had that phone for now a year and a half, and the battery life on it's still pretty good. And I'm convinced that's because of following these simple rules. So hope you found this video useful, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and a sub. I would be massively appreciated. Until next time, this is Rando Tech Info, signing out.